rolling.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was waiting for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to get a little something.
You ain't wrong. All right. And we here on another episode of High Standards. Your boy Alfred Chapman.
JK the interviewer.
And we got a special guest in the building.
G Bliz, what's good, everybody?
Hey man, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So we're gonna just give you like a couple disclaimers, you know what I'm saying, before everything get all going. We ain't crazy, but we just ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
We just ourselves kind of vibes. So unscripted, you can speak on whatever you want to speak on. You can say whatever you want to say. You ain't gotta worry about, you know what I'm saying? Be you. You know what I'm saying?
Good to know.
You know what I'm saying? So now since we got all that stuff out the way, welcome. You know what I'm saying? This is High Standards. You know what I'm saying? So of course.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, fact. So for the people, who don't know you, like where you from, what do you do, like how you get started? Yeah.
So I was born in Connecticut actually.
Okay.
And then when I was probably 19 or 20, I visited West Palm Beach because my boy was making music, and he knew I was dabbling in making music, and I really wasn't anything at this point yet, except really guitar player, but I wanted to be more of a music producer.
Okay.
So it was my first opportunity to actually get paid to make beats and stuff.
Yeah.
$100 a beat at the time, which is still great.
That's add up.
Yeah.
For real.
And so I went down and I was like, oh my god, it was like a reality shift because in Connecticut we don't have palm trees.
Yeah.
We don't have as much warm weather.
It's cold. It's cold over there, right?
It's probably still cold right now. Honestly, it's just getting warm probably.
Oh, speaking of Connecticut, shout out to UConn.
Yeah.
The men's
Huskies.
The men's team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of.
At one point.
For men.
No, why?
At one point,
watch out.
He's from Connecticut. You gotta shout them out.
At least we have something.
But what did UConn? They.
Anyway, continue.
That's probably the only. I don't know. We had the Whalers at one point too. The Hartford Whalers was a hockey team.
But y'all also got ESPN.
That's true, and Jerry Springer.
Well, Jerry kind of not say fell off, but Jerry kind of got older.
Honestly, that stuff isn't shocking anymore because of TikTok and stuff like that. You see worse shit on there every day.
I don't think Jerry Springer could have survived in this sensitive.
No, that's why.
That's true too.
That's why he kind of fell back. He was like,
it's way too sensitive.
He realized how damaging his platform was to the culture.
I don't think it was damaging.
I think people
are just too
go back and see.
I think people are too sensitive now. Even comedy, even comics can't even be comics anymore because of
that.
How sensitive people are.
That I agree with. I feel like art should be like this safe bubble to just do
whatever. Where the mic at? They gonna be able to hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. They really sitting there talking. Where's the mic? Okay. So I don't know. I think I rock with Jerry. Even though some of the topics was kind of crazy, they would have
I slept with my cousin's sister-in-law, and now I don't know who the baby dad is. I'm like,
there's a lot of it had it.
I was like, what the fuck?
That was 100% scripted, right? 100%.
I was
like at least they got the people, and then they were like I feel like they got the stories beforehand and stuff. I don't know. Do you think there was legit? You're the father, and really realizing it on TV. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you got a point.
When it comes to the paternity, I look at Maury Povich for that. I'm gonna go to Maury's show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But Jared is more of I'm here today to meet some girl I've been webcamming for 6 months, and I find
catfish before catfish.
Yeah, remember everything was kind of catfish.
That's when they was doing the.
There was no social media. There's
too easy.
Even with the hey, what was the thing about it's the messenger back in the day?
AIM, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was your age, sex, location. You know what I'm saying? You somebody you really could be talking to a whole weirdo. But I'm definitely throwing back. But one of my things was when I was in middle school, that I think it was called teenspot.com or some shit.
I don't remember that one.
Man,
I probably just wasn't allowed, to be honest.
I wasn't allowed either, but I snuck on. But it sucked though, where you when you used to get on the internet and they're it was like
AOL.
Like the whole building was everybody in the whole house, or you got to take the cord out the phone. So why is it going? You're you on the internet?
They don't even know. Now they're mad when the Wi-Fi doesn't work.
What? You don't understand, and this is back when if you was on social media type of thing, it was like, oh my, like
it was MySpace, right?
Nah, I think
this would be kind of before MySpace.
What was social media before MySpace?
It was the instant messenger.
Okay, so that's
so
it's kind of like social, but not media.
I feel like social media was better back then because you actually had to know somebody, like know they shit.
True.
Like, hey, bro,
I think I had a few celebrities in my top 8 though.
Like go on they shit, do a little woo on that.
That's true though.
Yeah.
You get mad at somebody, you take them out your top 8.
Well, oh yeah, like all that. But no, when they really messed the game up was when you could do like little top 20. You know what I'm saying? And then you can really make your page all customized.
Yo, you used to put the code in. You used to have to put the code in.
Like literally, my homeboy knew how to do the code stuff. And then you like, you had the top 20 thing, or you can make this music slow down. And you're like, bro, niggas, my face page is lit.
You had the little playlist that you could add.
I had a couple songs up there too.
Yeah,
bro.
You know what was so crazy about MySpace? Like, you could let a bitch know she your crush without telling her you crush. Just put on your.
You put on top. Yeah.
Put on your shit.
Like, we both in.
Or
on her wall.
If you put her as your first one, like, oh, they dating. You're like, oh, okay, yo, they dating. Blah, blah. And then when she not on your first one, like, oh, yeah, they ain't together no more.
You know what's a tough spot to be in though? If you got like 2 best friends, how do you do that?
That's when you had the top little 20, top 10 type of situation.
But imagine like you got 2 best friends, right? You were a kid, and one's 1 and one's number 2.
Yeah.
You'd be like, damn, like I rank a little lower than. That's a tough spot to be in as a teenager.
Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. So also too, okay, so with your music, when did you really get into like the guitar playing?
Bro, 9 years old. I was really young. I was 6 years old, and I found a guitar under my dad's bed.
Okay.
He got one, but he never ever learned. But he wanted to learn.
Okay.
But he kept the guitar, and I found it being a little nosy kid under the bed, and I used to really like play. Like I used to really be into it. And I would tune it, but not how a guitar is actually supposed to be tuned. But I would like tune it to itself to where it kind of sounded good. And I would just sit there and do that. And to be 9 and doing that, I think my parents were like,
he got something.
And I went to this big church up in Connecticut at the time. And
what's the church, man? Shout out to the church.
Kingdom Life Christian
Church.
Hey,
shout out to Kingdom Life.
Yeah, you're right. I got my start there for real because they the guy's name was Herb Rubio.
Okay.
Amazing guitar player. He used to play for like Tina Turner and stuff. He played for the church, and he gave lessons. So I saw him play up there, and I was like, "Wow, this guy's amazing." I was like, "Dad, that's cool." Turns out he gave lessons. So my parents, like, shout out to them because I didn't even know at the time that it was such a sacrifice to pay for these lessons.
Yeah, that's
and
definitely
for real. And so they put me in lessons, and like my first lesson, man, like it was for reading music, and like I either did or almost cried walking out of it because I was like, this is hard. This isn't like what I anticipated. Then I started learning scales and chords and all that, the soulful stuff that you could have fun with, and I gravitated towards that. And I shortly after was like kind of good for a kid. Yeah. And when I was 12, I went from playing with the youth group to like the adults, and it was like I got a lot of love quick. I didn't really have any hardships when it came to guitar. Yeah. And so like when I wanted to become a producer, I thought it was gonna be like that, and it sure wasn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now this could be whatever, but we don't have to
go for it, bro.
Okay. So do you feel like with the guitar playing, it's a kind of like a different demographic? You know what I'm saying? So we're like a little bit more like.
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you think now
like hard rock type of?
Yeah, like a hard rock or like you know what I'm saying, the guitar country music.
I think that's how I'm even me because when I started playing, I loved blues, which already is like super soulful. Yeah. Like that's a more like original guitar playing, I would say, is blues, and then it got kind of shifted into rock, which then it started to change the demographic, I would say. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So rock, country, all of that is, in my opinion, black origin anyway. But yes, it has super like, wide demographic with guitar, pop music, rock music. But I believe I got where I got because I saw a void of guitar in hip hop and R&B. Not a void, but like and I zeroed in on it, what I did find. Yeah. So when I was 16, YouTube was like really starting to get saturated with learning content. And I found this guy named Jarvis Mosey. Okay. And like I literally owe my style to him because he's from Long Beach and they play different out there. They play it real, like slippery, soulful. Like it's so different than what a rock guitar.
Yeah.
I was like, I had no idea guitar could do that.
Yeah.
And so I started to obsess over this style, and then I started playing. Once I got decent at that, I went to a shed, which is like a gospel jam session.
Okay.
And because the church I went to was non-denominational, meaning all different types of folk were there. So my gospel homies were like, come out to Bridgeport real quick and jam with us.
Shout out to Bridgeport,
Shout out
Connecticut.
BPT, man, 203. So you know, that just changed me. They were like, yo, this kid is soulful, this kid is crazy. And I was just around them for a while, and that's what kind of geared me towards that style of music.
What was your name? Always Bliz?
Well, so my name is Gabriel Blizman. So it's just a shortening, you know, of it. So,
okay.
So yeah, I probably since I was that age was called Bliz.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as a little, used to say Lil Bliz.
Lil Bliz.
And then, you know, I stopped being Lil.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Sure,
right?
bro.
For someone that you said you started playing in the church and whatnot, like, what was it that, like, convinced you to switch genres? Especially, like, I'm pretty sure your parents wasn't, like, on board with you, like, hey, I want to do hip-hop.
Right. It was a duality, you know, and honestly, like, my parents are really cool. Like, they're not, I wouldn't say they're the typical parents. Like, they definitely fostered that creativity in me. And I think it was definitely tough for them. Like right before I switched to R&B and gospel music, I was in a heavy metal band.
Ooh, okay.
And so I think they were just like, who the hell is my kid? You know what I mean? Because I was shifting around so much. But I literally quit a heavy metal band to start being more of a producer and get into R&B and gospel music. So it's a crazy transition. But I think because I have to say gospel music, all the cats that play gospel play R&B gigs on the weekends before church. Okay. Or they gig with all the big artists. Mm-hmm. So gospel actually got me into R&B and rap, you know, and playing for live artists. You know. Who's
some guitarists that you looked up to growing up?
Man, I would say like B.B. King was the first one that I idolized. Okay. And then, you know, I don't even want to say all the obvious ones like Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that. I definitely appreciate all them, but Steve Vai was one who was crazy big influence.
Is there anyone that like more like up to date that people?
Like I said, Jarrett Mosey, Tim Stewart, Spanky Alford. He's D'Angelo's guitarist. Okay, you know, like I mean, the list just like all that. It's just grimy and that stuff really, you know. Like Jonathan DeBose from Bridgeport. He's like one of the best. He is the best gospel guitarist in my opinion. You know, like beyond gospel too. But yeah, like whoever, man. You know, like I try to pull from even non-guitarists. I used to listen to like singers sing, get their riffs in, and you know, to put them on guitar or a saxophone player or something. So I just always try to be different, honestly, because I felt like there were so many of the same rock guitar players. You know.
So explain your style, like you know. Because you came from the church, you still consider yourself a producer.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
And, you know, you incorporate all that into who you are. But who are you? Like, if someone said, I want a Bliz production, like, what are they expecting? Or what are they anticipating that they're going to get?
So I think, like, the guitar aspect and the producer aspect are almost two different things. The guitar aspect is usually going to be, you know, a really soulful, almost singing like guitar solo, or like real like smooth chord. You know, so I'm going to make you feel something when it comes to the guitar. I feel like I just have a signature sound, and I would never say I'm the best or worst. I just feel like I have my own unique sound. You know that, and people usually say like, you know, it's like, damn, he's singing like through the guitar.
Why wouldn't you say you're the best?
I wouldn't say I'm the best because I feel like the best is an opinionated thing almost. Like it's hard for me to even have a top 5. Anyone, anything, movie, rapper. It's just hard for me to. I can have it for me, but that doesn't mean that
but it's your opinion though.
Right,
like,
right.
Who's the best producer or type of vibe of your sound or? That you look up to
There's a guy I look up to a lot. His name is Max Martin, and I look up to him because of his like success rate. Okay. And he's not necessarily known as much for style as he's known for his like formatting ability to make something catchy and keep you interested the whole time. Which is what I would say about my production is like, it could be like I did a joint with Loose Cannon, and I also
and the gang.
you know, and I also do a joint with my girl Tally. You know, she's she's the reason I'm in Orlando really, but she's a singer, soft R&B, two polar opposites.
Yeah.
But what I bring to it is like how to keep people interested and how to make it sound polished, but not like ruin the essence of who the person is.
Yeah.
Either. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people come in and be like, do this record. And I'm not like that. I'm like, what's your favorite color? How do you like to dress? What have you been through? Where are you originally from? Let's put all of that into music. You know?
That's real. And a lot of people ain't doing that.
No, they just don't care.
Yeah.
They want you to sound like them or something like that, you know?
That's a big fact. So I see that you and your lady, you guys are super close, you know what I'm saying?
Super close.
Look like she's real supportive with everything you do.
Absolutely.
So how was it on tour?
Dude, it was cool, man. Like
She was there with you?
she was a background singer for Rod.
Okay.
Yeah, so
shout out to Rod Wave.
Yeah, shout out Rod Wave, shout out him.
I'm in your city tonight.
Yes, sir. That was a life.
How did that situation come about?
So shout out my boy Chino over at Stark Lake Studios.
Okay, yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Man. That's my brother. And
we definitely went to school together.
yeah, that's fire, man. Yeah, so like as far as that goes, I mean, I just became friends with him over the course of going to the studio, and he gave me the call one day. He was like, "Yo, Rod needs a guitar player in the studio," and I was like, "Word, all right."
So you wasn't like, he said Rod or he said Rod Wave?
I think he might have said Rod Wave. I don't know. Either way, I knew because I know he's always worked with Rod.
Yeah.
Pretty much since before.
Like
Hard on
like,
Ice.
Like bring us into that moment that you got
I was
that call.
on my way. So like we had friends in town. We had a writing camp and at an Airbnb vibe. You know the vibes. And I was like on the way, and then I got the call. So I was like I super had an expectation for the day. I was already like out of the norm.
You finna get some work in.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden it was like, yo, like tonight we need that. And I was just like,
oh,
it
was
no.
right then and there?
Yeah. That's how it always is, bro. You can't really even determine some of the things.
So did you hit the folks up at the spot like, hey, I'm
I
not
was like,
showing
yo,
up.
crazy opportunity. I'm like, they need a guitar player, they need production, and they need guitar player, they need production, and they need a female singer, and they need a male singer. So I was like,
So
boom.
that's your lady,
boom.
that's you.
Tally, Isaiah Falls, my production team, me, Swavey, Icy Red, and Phil Mango. We already have a production team that Phil plays bass, I play guitar, he plays keys, and Icy is an amazing producer and drum programmer and DJ. So
the writers camp didn't happen.
The writers camp happened without us,
okay.
You know, because there was like maybe upwards of 15 of us total. So you know, we just weren't there for a little bit.
Yeah,
understandable. That's why the hell we have writing camps. You know, to either
get
get
in
ourselves
moments,
out there, or help get on bigger stuff. So, I was definitely nervous, man.
Excuse me.
And, no, good. And so we drove down and pulled up, and it was just like one of those moments where you're just sitting there, like, taking in the experience.
He was already there?
He was already there. I think he was playing Madden. Like, he had a TV in the studio. I don't want to give this process away too much, but it was so cool to see. I say it out of admiration because he was having a good time. He was bouncing between different records. He had the homies there. Same homies that were there with the homies that on tour with him. Like, he's real, like, tight-knit and loyal.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he even called us for tour, because basically he was like, I want you to play guitar solo on this record. So I'm just chilling, waiting. It was like 3 a.m. Like, got there, I don't even know when, but it was like 3 a.m. And he was like, pull that joint up. You ready, bro? And I was like, I had just smoked, too. I tell this story all the time.
Outside with them big-ass mosquitoes.
Bro.
I hate them mosquitoes by Starlight.
They're like Jurassic Park.
Them bitches bigger than the bitch, bro. Like, like I heard him smoke that bit, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So he asked me to do the solo, and
what song was it?
Forever. Yeah, it came out. It really was like the catalyst for everything. You know?
And you're on. And
yeah.
You. Okay.
Yeah.
Now look, so different thing. Like, I'm a huge Rock Wave fan, right? So I made a couple comments that definitely got ruffled people's feathers, but this is how my opinion, right?
East Face Florida.
No, I said that. I said Luther Vandross. I think I shit on goddamn Rod Wave.
Wow.
Past Luther. You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga, like, timeless type of music, right? So when you say Forever, though, now this sound like how you a fan, but not a fan. How did the song start?
Forever and ever.
Oh yeah, that's fire.
I appreciate it, man.
That's fire, and you
So everything was already done. I just came in, and then he was like, I want you to do some like guitar ad-libs and then wail a solo out at the end. And so I just did it, and I was like trying different things, and he was like, no. And when that happens, I think if you're, I don't know.
If you're able to take constructive criticism, it's not gonna, like, damn, man.
Well, like, no, so it didn't make me feel like I was bad, but it makes you feel like, yo, I gotta like give this guy what he's looking for.
What he's looking for.
So as you progressively don't get it, you're like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, what's it gonna be?
Yeah.
And it really just turned out, this is such a testament to who he is. I was trying to do a certain thing, you know, oh, maybe if I do this over this chord. And what he ended up liking was me going like, just bending and making it real like bluesy, kind of like Back to My Roots would be.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that. And it was like, it was like a 5-minute
How
thing,
did you feel inside when he's like, yeah, like
crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been around a lot of, you know, people, but it just felt like he was like the most relevant person in the moment. I don't know. It just a lot of people I guess I haven't really worked in the room as much as I've gotten bigger placements, but not really been in the room. And this was me being in the room with him. And before that, we were like cooking up some beats, and the beats didn't end up making it, but like that was a cool experience.
Yeah.
Tally sung on like a whole entire Rod Wave song that isn't out. Like she's on a whole hook of his.
Raw.
And it was just like some Florida ass shit, bro. You know, like, cause I'm not from here, but I live here, and I want to like.
We adopted you.
Yeah, I feel so loved and welcomed here.
Yeah,
for real, for real.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. And while it was happening, he was like, "I need this shit on tour with you."
Excuse me.
And I didn't think anything of it, but like 3 months later, like we got the call.
This
like,
shit happened.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the album went gold on tour. So I got a little plaque on tour, man. It was crazy.
Ain't no little, but yeah. Big Bliz, not a little.
No.
Yeah.
I appreciate
that part. That's real.
I appreciate it.
That's dope.
Thank you.
And that's all in 2023.
This was 2022, end of 2022. Bro, we went on tour. So wait, when was it? When did we leave?
Like what, October?
I think it was October.
October?
And then
mid-October.
Yeah, we got back December 22nd. So it was like barely any time.
That's
you know, before Christmas. I was Amazoning stuff from the bus.
Fact. Yeah. Fact. Hey, nigga, y'all gonna understand.
Yeah. I'm like, you're gonna have to just understand.
You have to understand.
Yeah, no shit on the 27th.
What was your favorite show?
Oh, that's a tough one. That goes back to like there's different elements.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know. Chicago was insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know. What was that? G Herbo came out.
Chirac fuck we're out of the way, huh?
Yeah, bro. Milwaukee randomly was like such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
It was just lit. Like the crowd was hype.
I think your
we sold out Barclays. That was nuts. That was crazy. What were we gonna say?
I was saying, was it Minnesota? I think you posted on your thing. And I think y'all dapping up or something like that.
Yeah, Minnesota was lit.
Yeah.
And the Florida shows, bro. I mean, being home, my parents got to see it.
That's real.
My little brother, you know.
I bet your mom and your parents and it was in there in tears.
Yeah, they and what's cool is like they were like, we thought we were gonna stick out like a sore thumb, but we didn't.
No.
You know, they just in a sense of even just age, never mind the demographic.
Yeah.
And there was people like.
That's what I was gonna say. He has that big of a.
He does.
It's like timeless music. It ain't just like a race thing. It ain't an age thing.
It has no
it's
boundaries.
So like you
no
feel it. You know
Bro,
what I'm saying?
There was even depending on where we went, there would be like a bigger demographic depending on the location.
Mm-hmm.
But like I zoomed out and looked at it as like a whole tour. If there was more, you know, whatever here, whatever there, like there was. If you zoom out, there's like everything covered.
Everything.
You know,
Literally,
everything covered. Like emo, like emo kids that listen to like
there was the
like,
they nails,
Fall Out Boy and shit.
Yeah.
They listen to Rod now. Like that.
Facts.
That's the equivalent of
Facts.
when we were younger. That's the equivalent, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and with all due respect to the word emo, you know.
Yeah.
It just means like actually getting in touch with your emotions, which I think more people need to do in general. Honestly,
I tell you, he's a generation bigger Luther Vandross.
He's absolutely like. I think nowhere near the peak of what he's gonna do.
No, like it's like I really feel like his music is really timeless music to where like you're just listening to like you could really go on a Rod Wave playlist and let that slide and you just.
What's crazy is none of us really knew, like we weren't really tapped in, and I think that's good sometimes because I got to learn
for him. Yeah.
Basically, I was like a sponge. I was soaking everything in. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. We're gonna put out a Rodway like type sample pack soon because we learned like 40 of his songs.
Did
You know what I mean? So now we know the vibe.
That would have been raw if y'all had got all that on the film, would have like made your own little documentary.
We did, bro. Like
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to know. Okay, yeah.
Tally put it together. So she's editing it right now, and she showed me some of it, and I almost cried because like I was like, I didn't even know you caught all this.
Yeah.
And when you look back, it's just emotional moment after emotional moment, life changing after life changing.
Like he said, Michael Jordan's story.
Yeah,
that's
raw.
raw.
Cool, man.
Congratulations,
Thank you, bro.
Cause you know there's different people who are like, oh yeah, I've been on tour with this person, I've been on tour with that person. No, you was really on tour, and especially with somebody like a Rod Wave.
He had a couple of historical moments that the blogs posted.
Yeah. Like,
and then to know that you was part of that is like, oh,
exactly, bro.
Okay.
And to know he like plucked us all out of Orlando, which is so like real to me.
You can tell that he like. I from seeing from the beginning that he always rocked with Orlando from when he had the record with G9 and then he had the record with Pootie and they're like back to back on World Star to where back before like when people didn't really know exactly who Rod Wave was. They're like, okay, but I seen Glock 9 before. Okay, boom. And then he did it on with the Pootie and it was like back to back. He was like, oh snap, you know what I mean? And then like his show.
He did a show with MK and Bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, when it was only like 5,000 people, and I say only, but just knowing what he does now. 5,000 is amazing too.
Yeah.
You know,
5,000. But
as a new artist, I look at everything like that. I'm like, I'm lucky to sing in front of 30 people when I get brave enough to sing in front of 30 people.
So now, even with seeing that type of success and that type of energy and like the direction like you already on with having relationships with somebody like that, how does that make like your recording process? Are you now even more harder on yourself?
Are your artistry?
No, like
what is it?
I feel like he not directly, but I feel like witnessing him gave me permission to be freer and
be like, I'm really him
more. Yeah, like I've always been a guitar player, I've always been a producer, and I've always ran away from putting out my own music with my perspective. You know, I've always run away from that, to be real with y'all. And I just realized, yo, this guy, you know how like there's like a certain standard in for like pop stars or artists, you gotta have abs and you gotta be this tall, you gotta whatever. So I used to be like, oh, when I lose weight, I'll be an artist, or like, oh, when I get over my anxiety, I'll do it. And he would come in and be like, man, I'm nervous for tonight, you know, and I'd be like, I was gonna say the same thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it made me feel better. I'm sure me saying that made him feel better, maybe. And after a while, I just realized this guy's pushing through something. This is like, as new of an experience as it was for me, it was for him too, because he'd only been doing that before as an opener for Kevin Gates. Really, you know. I mean, he did a couple shows,
for sure.
But like, this was so monumental for him.
Yeah. So
we're kind of having this like parallel monumental thing where he's here and I'm here, at a different level. But I'm just so lucky to experience it at all. Because now I'm like, yo, I want this one for me, and he's shown me it's possible. A jit from St. Petersburg, who didn't think his music was gonna pop, and that's how I have a different story. But like, I also didn't think my music was gonna. You know, I didn't even know if I was going to be a good producer, to be honest, you know, and I feel like I've had some, I like to say moderate success, because I have a lot of people I look up to, but I'm just ready to pivot, man, and drop my shit. You know?
So do you record on your own, like, stuff?
Yeah, but both. Like, I record my own demo, and then, like, I'll go in with my engineer, Steph. Shout out Steph Rendell. She's fire. She's in the city. And I'll pull up on her and like really track it, so I can take the extra work off of myself, you know, and instead of having to make 4 tracks to do 4 times, you know, I could just be like, make another one, and we have that relationship where she understands what I'm going for, and it always sounds better when she does it.
Yeah.
So
What was like your reaction when you heard Forever and Ever? And it was like actually on the project, and you like this is my like that chord, like that's me. Like, did you cry,
bro? I've cried before. I don't know if I cried for this one.
Yeah,
I just can't remember. But
no,
like,
for sure,
we could just say for sake of conversation. If I didn't outwardly, I did in here, and like, just the overwhelming like sense of gratitude. It taught me about life, bro. Because like I couldn't sit here and plan out a way to do a solo on Rodway's album, but I could become the best guitarist that I could become and be nice to people, as nice to people as I could be, and that is what led to that solo. So the solo taught me about life. It taught me you never have to be anything but yourself and do your best, and you will get those opportunities. So just do that in the in-between, and those opportunities are going to come. If you're lazy when you practice, you're going to fold during the solo, and it's not going to make it on the album type shit. It's kind of how I look at it.
That is big facts.
Yeah, it was a beautiful realization.
That's so big because, there's people who like, hey, I got records with Rod Wave, and you're like, no, for real, like that's dope. Okay, like congratulations on that. But there's like, no, I really have records with Rod Wave. Like this is on his album. Clearance that ain't just easy. You know what I'm saying? Especially for somebody who make good music like he make. Could have had anybody. You know what I'm saying?
He could have had anybody. He could have had John Mayer do it. You know what I mean? Probably. Like. And that was just an honor. And then for him to be like, I want you to come and play this exact solo every night on tour in front of 15,000 people. I was like, what is life? And I didn't even know, like when he had me out, I didn't even know that was necessarily going to happen. And then the week of rehearsal, we found out what we were going to play on and all that stuff. And he was like, I want you to come out, walk down the catwalk, go over here, go over here, go over here. Then at this part of the song, start playing. And then you go crazy, and I'm going to kind of like get out of your way. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, they get out of your way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what do you mean, man?
Wrong, yeah.
And he was like, this is your moment. He's like, forget about what I'm doing. Get lost in it. And there were some nights where I was like really trying to do good, and I didn't do as good as the nights where I just took his advice and got lost. That was the best advice he could have given me. Just get lost out there.
Which one was one of them CDs that you got lost in?
I feel like Fort Lauderdale, whatever, Sunrise, whatever that one was. I was just like, I'm home. Yeah. And I can't put too much pressure on doing good. I just gotta feel the vibe.
Is that when your parents was in the crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get lost.
Bro, I got a crazy story for that night too. He I think it was this night. Sway, that was the night, right? It wasn't Tampa, right?
It might have been Tampa.
It might have been Tampa, but
it was Tampa.
It was Tampa. My folks were at the Tampa one. Okay. So it was which is the home show. Yeah. You know? And he, I don't know if something happened to the class, but his Cuban, he had this Cuban on, like, ice. Just couldn't see it, too shiny. Exactly. And I walk out there. My thing was, like, if the stop sign, he had, like, his house set up. So the stop sign was here, and the porch was right here. And I just had to stand, like, right here on the corner while I was waiting to go up. And then I would hear my cue go up and do my thing. So before I could even go up, he walks over to me, like the beginning of the song. He's like, wear this for me, bro. And he puts the Cuban on my neck, bro. Like, that thing was like heavy, bro. And it was at the home show where my parents were, where all my friends were. Raw. Tally's parents were there. And I know your family. I didn't want to take crazy in the crowd.
What? But that's motivation though. That's like, hold on, real fact, because it's gonna be the time where now you sitting there like, hey, bro, wear this, and they're like, yo, Bliz gave me a chain.
Damn, I didn't even think of that.
It's gonna keep going like that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna keep going. Like, it's a trickle effect.
I went out and prematurely bought a little baby Cuban after that.
You're supposed to.
No, you're right.
You're supposed to.
Facts. You're right. You're
supposed to. You know how that feel like when it's like, when I made my first $100,000, $10,000, $1 million.
Do a little something to celebrate it. You're right. I got to get over the guilt of success almost. You know? You
worked hard for that.
I appreciate it.
You worked hard for that. You know what I'm saying? The time, effort, blood, sweat, tears, sacrifices.
Listen, this is what I tell myself. Like, when I be driving down, listen to R&B. I listen to R&B.
Same.
Like, eventually we going to get to a point where it's time to stop being humble. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Not saying you have to throw it in people's face, but like, bro, this is my time. Like, I'm tired of sitting back. Like, nah, go ahead.
You know the definition of humble?
Nah.
It's to think of. It's a little odd, but it's like to think low or moderate of oneself. That doesn't even sound positive. Shouldn't you think highly of yourself?
You're supposed to.
So I agree with you. I just have to get out of that because everybody's always like, be humble, be humble, be humble, and then we take it. We take it differently. We take it as, I think what it means is don't be cocky. That's two different things though.
Yeah, that's way different. Being confident is not the same.
It's totally different, bro.
Fact. That's like if Kyrie's confident how he dribbled. You don't get cocky now how you dribbling. You know what I'm saying?
How's he even gonna win?
Well, I'm trying to make a bit fall, man. For real. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like for man, real deal, in the words of like High Standard, man, pop that shit.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You ain't coming back saying, hey, you can't do this, nigga. But
Right.
definitely,
Now listen, your stock. Before you left, it was like this. Now you back, it's like this.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true. Bro.
You like that, like with Bitcoin, where people say, "Hey, bro, invest in Bitcoin." I ain't doing that shit. Look at Bitcoin
Costs
now.
a little more to get in now.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Now you Bitcoin.
You're right, bro. That's crazy.
It's that time. Like, hey, if y'all
That's
y'all either fuck with me now, or hey.
but it's already kind of a little bit too late.
Depending.
You know what I'm saying? Different kind
For
of
certain
ways.
folks,
It's already too late.
You could have got me for a certain price at some
yeah.
point, and now it's just a higher price.
Yeah.
And it's even a higher price now, not because I even think I'm worth that much more, but just because I'm focusing on myself for once.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, it's going to take you a lot to pull me off of me right now.
And like even conversations in extra kind of like where you could already be confident, you know for a fact how you are with your craft, but then it's like, all right, somebody before could have been like, hey, like, bro, that you ain't really like that, man. Your sound like it's alright, you ain't figured out, but you ain't done what you done yet. But where you could even be like, well, maybe I should change, or maybe you know what I'm saying.
You're right.
But now it's to where like, bro, they ain't better tell you shit. Like, what you talking about? Like, I done this. Like, I done this. Like, I done this. I do this. I know who I am to the max. You know what I'm saying? To where it only gets bigger.
Dude, I would get advice. We would get advice on tour from certain folks who would say, you gotta pop your shit. And not in the way you just said it either.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta like, really, people are fighting for your job and da-da-da-da. And I just didn't resonate with that. My vibe is always like, yo, what's meant for me is meant for me.
Yeah.
And I just went into it like staying who I am,
That
kind of
part.
like the good,
Yeah,
being a good guy,
yeah,
and that's
facts.
what got me
Good
there.
energy,
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna change now
Mm-hmm.
because I'm scared to lose my position.
Yep.
And I took what Rod wanted. We did what Rod wanted. It's not what other people were advising. And
He the one who matters, right?
yeah. So
Now I talked to your boss. He said that. No, that's not what he said. Okay.
just a testament to not changing, like you said, not really shifting who you are. And the further you get being yourself, the further you solidify your identity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a big fact. Is there any records or something like that you've been working on that you about to release?
Actually,
I know you just dropped.
I just dropped, which is monumental for
Excuse
me.
me.
You
Yes.
know, like, because I dropped one song last year, but I was kind of on the hush. I didn't have a rollout. I didn't even believe it was going to do good. And then, sure enough, it really didn't. It got good reception for who heard it, but it didn't really go crazy. And then I dropped the instrumental track that it's almost at 500,000 now, which I was like, what? Shout out KP from colleagues.
You know what I'm saying? The expectation's so high now to where like it's only 500,000. It ain't really.
I guess I see who I'm around. I see Rod, and he gets like 3 million views in one day. And
But that takes time.
It takes time.
That takes time.
Exactly.
But I said 500,000. Like, and how long? How long with the 500,000?
What's crazy is I think it's been out and this is an instrumental joint, so it's just like a jazzy vibe.
Yeah.
But it's been out for like a year. But what's crazy is it didn't catch on until like 6 months. It got on an editorial on Spotify.
Yeah.
And then we got like 150,000 streams last month.
Yeah.
Alone.
Fact.
But that's showing me what can happen with
This man just try to slide it in there. Bro.
Yeah.
It made an editorial.
Yeah.
On Spotify.
Like that's it.
Bro, no, it's not. It made me realize like how that's possible. You know what I mean? Like I put it out with no expectations, and then all of a sudden it was on one, and I'm like, I gotta drop more shit. I gotta sing on some shit because this is gonna happen exponentially.
Yeah,
you know. It
talk to him.
It was little breadcrumbs from the universe. Is how I like to look at it. You know? So I decided to drop.
Some breadcrumbs are bigger than other breadcrumbs.
That's true.
Yeah,
sometimes you get too many carbs.
Well, it's how you did. Yeah, like I only got 3% of the company, but that 3% of $2 billion. Like, yeah, okay.
You're right.
I got you.
Sometimes it's a better bread.
Yeah.
The crumb is from a better loaf.
The quality.
French.
Yes.
Baguette.
Baguette.
That's what bag really stands for, man.
Yeah, talk to him. That's a big fact. So that's hard. So like, okay, so what's next for you? What's
so I dropped the song. It's called Jiggle, and I feel like I tied in my R&B, my love for R&B, with my love for like funk, with my love for guitar, with my love for pop music. It sounds like a lot, but it's pretty cohesive.
Yeah.
And it really showcases like who I am. It celebrates women, which is who I am. I'm not a player. I'm not nothing like that. I'm just
Neither are
a girl. You know,
ain't nothing wrong with. I was sitting there like, there's nothing wrong with being in love. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with
monogamy.
Bro,
it's the greatest.
It's so like you're funny, bro.
No, I'm looking for a wife. I promise you, I'm really looking for a wife.
I believe it, bro. I believe
I'm really
it.
looking for a wife.
But people just like I think if you're doing your thing, that's fine. But I also think if you want to be in love, that's you're not a simp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a partnership.
Hey,
bro.
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. You brought up. So what is being a simp to you? Like since you, because I know being in love is not simping. Because I've been in love plenty of times, but simping is simping.
All right, here's what I think simping is. It's giving too much energy that's not being reciprocated.
God damn.
Boy, that was a bar right there. Shit like that.
You know?
God damn.
Yeah.
We gotta clip that.
What I'm trying to tell you, that's it right there.
We gotta clip that.
That's the definition right there. Wow.
Yeah.
You ain't getting shit back.
You ain't getting nothing back.
And you know, you could simp on the job and the career with women, man, whatever you into. Like you could simp all of that, and it's really about attracting, not chasing. So
yeah, it's a lot of drug dealer simps out this bitch.
It's true.
Like, boy, you ain't getting back what you putting out, my boy. Ain't making. I don't know.
Just please front me, please.
Yeah, come on now. Like, bro, like, okay, look, you looking at everything, like, boy, I've been fronting you for like about 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got there, read up and on this, but damn, okay, that's real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you asked what's next though is I finally actually sat down and said I'm going to do this the real right way. And I don't have all the resources, but I have some, and I'm going to tap into all of them. So all the ones I have. So
relationships.
I made a rollout, for myself. I edited a lot of my own videos. I got my friends together who do this or that.
Yeah.
Shout out Jay Yoko, because she's the reason I'm on this very podcast right now.
She the GOAT right there.
For real. And then she was like, "Have you ever thought about doing a media run?" I was like, but I didn't even look at myself. Like people wanted to talk to me, so I'm just really getting past those old views, you know what I mean? So what's next, man? Promoting my song, working on my next single, which is in the works already, and getting with all the beautiful people around here too, and trying to, again, prioritizing myself for once, but I really want to keep sowing into who's around me because shout out my boy Isaiah Falls, his project's dropping in a week. I executive produced his project for him. Yeah. And, now he's producing for himself. That's huge. We're working on a bunch of stuff. Luxury Lane. We have a Twitch stream we're gonna start up called Life at the Lair.
Shout out to Twitch.
Shout out Twitch and YouTube and all that, man. It's fire. So a lot of different stuff, bro. But really just community based. Like if you're on the same frequency as me, then at some point I feel like we'll connect and we'll work. And I just don't want to force it ever. Yeah. So I know it's like this. That's naturally going to happen with a lot of different people. I've been lucky to work with a lot of people around here already. So, yeah.
That's super dope. That's dope.
I love it.
Is there any situation that you about to come out with that's already like you already worked with some of these people from around here that you
what to expect? Like
no, that's not what I mean. But
no for us.
Oh no, okay. I thought you were talking, but that's not what I was talking about.
Oh,
like records that.
Do you have any records that you already worked on that like you ain't dropped yet? To like say what? Oh yeah, you were kind of right. My bad.
Change your frequency, bro.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Frequency speak to me.
I did when we got in the studio with Loose Cannon and Takeoff. Shout out Cannon Gang. Shout out Snoop. That was a fire session. We did 2 records that day, and he dropped the one. Like we spent more time on one, and then we did another one. He dropped the one we spent less time on already. It's called No Mickey, and we were talking about being from Orlando. People thinking it's sweet if you're not from here, kind of thing.
That's
I sampled his me and the gang, me and Luxury Lane, but like he and Current too. Shout out Current, another fire producer around here. But he talking on Off the Porch about it, and I sampled that and put it in the intro. And and inspired the whole song to like be like, you know what I mean? I care about who the person is. Facts. And then we did another joint that's like my favorite. That's not out yet. And I'm like, please drop it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just so excited about that one because I
Yeah.
feel like it's gonna go crazy and really like it's like a polished version. You know what I mean? It's like pop. It's not pop, but I feel like when we had the session, it felt like pop.
Yeah.
But like listening back, it's just like I feel like it could show him to the world. Honestly, you know what I mean? I feel that way. I don't want to make assumptions.
No,
But
cause
we
had conversations about it. Basically, like what's next?
Because we feel like Cannon is the people's champ of Orlando, right? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I get from him? The energy I get. I realized this after Biggie Smalls. Like I feel like he could have like I love it when you call him Big Papa type record too. I really feel like he could have that. I want to.
Is there? Can you say it? The record that.
The name of it?
Yeah, the name of the record.
It's called Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on, Rolling. I don't know.
Maybe he dropped it and I don't know.
No, not drop.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about, I think I might have heard.
All the business is done.
Yeah, I think I might have heard. I don't know. But anyway, so we're going to even, we're going to just throw it around. So, hey, man, Rolling Stone, man. So, we're going to do a whole thing. Hey, man, make sure y'all drop that Rolling Stone. Intervision, Snoop,
I'd be excited
Angie,
to hear it out, man.
You know what I'm saying? Rolling Stone. Yeah, that's what we pushing for. Because I already feel it. So, I already know, like, with you two in the studio together, with the type of quality and the impact of it together, oh yeah, I'm pushing for Rolling Stone too,
bro, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good vibes, bro. I really do. It's got a lot of energy. He's singing,
yeah,
he's rapping,
yeah.
Bars. Southern bars are my favorite too. I'm working with another guy named Click Clack. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him. He's from Sanford.
I have.
He's like, I think he's really underrated.
Okay.
So me and Luxury Lane got in with him too, and we're working on a EP with him. It's very luxurious. It's very playerific.
So Luxury Lane. What is Luxury Lane?
Luxury Lane is a production team consisting of me, Swavey over here, Icy Red, and Phil Mango, and we all met and just vibed. And we're kind of like a production team and a band and a songwriting team. Like we just do a lot of different things together. We started as a sample making company, and we became brothers and just like, samples are on the back burner. We make them when we make them. But it's such an easy thing to do that we do like big tasks together now. So. I don't go anywhere without them, like, as far as working with people.
That real.
Because I'm like, why would I do all the work myself when we could all do our best and make it even better? You know what I mean? So I used to be a lone wolf, too. I really did used to be a lone wolf, so, that they changed my view on that for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
That's dope. That's super dope.
But yeah, Isaiah Falls, too, bro. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he's on an alternative R&B. I don't know if you're listening to, like, Brent Faiyaz or anybody.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a different... But he could be on the playlist with them.
Yeah.
So his project coming out in a week is called The Private Room. And he's already getting a lot of, label calls and stuff like that. But I feel like people around here don't know some of the actual serious people around here. You know what I mean by that?
Why is that? Why is it? Because
we should talk about this.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. Right now, I know I'm gonna get some. Get back for this.
Let's talk about it.
But look, this is what I personally think. Right. I feel like the more like real deal talented people on music like yourself and the who really know music, I feel like they're from the East Side. I feel like the more popularity I know, you know what I'm saying, it is on the West Side. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when it's so separated to where like when East Orlando and West Orlando real deal come together like people on the East Side, they're like, we in our own lane, we're doing fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing fine. We see what's on the news. We don't really want all that energy. When they don't really know, like, all the way, like, it's not really like that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's just areas. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point, bro.
So then even now the people on the West Side, they're looking like they don't know what's going on the East Side besides it's growing beside like backpack, you know what I'm saying? You should have like, I'm straight on it, you know what I'm saying? I got my hood hot, you know what I'm saying? We lit around here. I get played in Beacham every night.
Them college kids is
you know what I'm saying? But when really you like, you know what I'm saying? It has to be like
median.
It has to be.
I agree.
And it's getting to the point to where like both sides in a way kind of looking stupid in different ways because it's literally like 15, 20 minutes away from literally a boom. You know what I'm saying?
Of everywhere.
Of everywhere. There's artists who very talented, but they ever get to be in a room or the presence of you in Luxury Lane, like to really actually learn music and really a craft or sound, and then you can take that type of information.
That's
back
all
to,
it is.
That's it.
It's a template. You don't have to become East Side or West Side to fuck with each other.
Yeah.
And I really want to highlight something you said, because a lot of people I think talk about how like the West Side has to unify like Atlanta. You know what I mean? But I think it's more about the West Side and the East Side unifying.
Facts.
Not about just one side unifying. You
No,
know what
facts.
I mean?
Exactly.
Because we have, the East Side vibes are R&B heavy, there's pop stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not even I live over
radio
there,
radio stuff.
Radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Records.
Like and then like, but the culture's here. The culture's here. I mean, even if you want to get good food, you gotta come here. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Unless, boy, I ain't gonna lie, boy.
I mean, there's some
I love the rice beans. What's the? I forgot the little Spanish restaurant where it looked like the old, like a gas station.
I'm trying to think.
Oh man, I forgot. It's off
I might not even know.
East Colonial. I forgot the name of it. That food is amazing. But yes,
you know what I mean.
I know what you're saying.
The concentration of it, and like to be able to just walk in, and you might, depending on where you are,
and also too, it's another cheat code that we have is to where Kissimmee. Like, Kissimmee's growing and blowing up so fast to where, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kissimmee's on fire. Mm-hmm. So now we're like, all right, where people are like, oh, I'm in Orlando. We're like, oh, where you at? Oh, I'm in Kissimmee. That's to show you how close, bro, y'all the same shit. If I'm from out of town, bro, I'm in Orlando. I don't know no difference. It's how we identify
to the world.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? Like, so when East Orlando, West Orlando, and Kissimmee really start that, like, you know what I'm saying? Illuminati stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you in, you know what's going on, you know what's going on.
Who's who,
Exactly, who's who.
Yeah.
That's when the city's going to go, it's going to be like that, boom. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be records, like with you and Loose Cannon, and kind
which
of
is like
going
relatively unexpected, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, the rappers I've worked with are Pitbull, T.I., but T.I., like, way after,
right now, T.I.?
I mean? Yeah, like a couple years ago, T.I. though.
That's still relevant, T.I.
Oh, of course,
no,
not even that irrelevant.
That's beefing with Kodak, T.I.
I'm trying to think when it was.
Yeah.
No, I can't even remember.
Was it after Nipsey?
It was the record that he was like a statue on. It was an album. I'm sorry.
No, you busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, I got it going. You guys are going on. You know what I'm saying?
It was, but there's producers out here that I know that are 18 years old and white boys from the suburbs that are producing for Kodak, and I don't know if like Yakri is somebody I really like respect for sure. Okay. I don't know if he's from the suburbs, or if he's white, but
a fact.
But like off of judgment, off perception, talent, like you see these kids come in and they're like immediately in with the very young trap stars. You know what I'm saying? Facts. That wasn't really me. Like, maybe when I was younger in Connecticut, I was around some of that, but I quickly pivoted to like R&B and pop and stuff. So I feel like the Loose Cannon and Bliz collab might be unexpected in a way.
That's gonna be that. Honestly, tell you the truth, I'm a visionary. I'm a energy type of person, and I already see the type of vibes you are on. That really, I'm seeing that. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll jump out on the record. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the record that's going to make the boom. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna push it like that. You know what I'm saying? Rolling Stone is gonna be the record where that collaboration situation gonna come in, because there's, like I said, there's very talented people on the West Side.
Incredible.
And very. You know what I'm saying? But when I say, like, if somebody want to get down from record to record, boy, like East Side boy, get for the West Side boy, run for their money. You know what I'm saying? It's just different type of energy, but different. I'm talking like really the quality, like, you know what I'm saying? Not just like a locally situation to where, okay, it's biased as hell. I'm talking about you go from, okay, put this out in the middle of the country, whatever you want to go to, Alaska, Minnesota, Tennessee, and say, okay, play this record, which one you like better? Boy,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. It's basically just thinking more than where your current environment is.
Because that's why, like, I feel like, because with Orlando being as big as Orlando is without people realizing it, to like Orlando is the #1 tourist attraction,
Bro,
and it has been for I don't know how long.
what celebrity don't pass through here?
You know what I'm saying?
It could be a
All the way
hub
through.
for real, bro.
Facts.
We will be. We will be.
Exactly, and like I drive international drive. We have every race here. You know what I'm saying? Literally every race. You'll meet somebody who like, oh, I'm Jamaican and Brazilian. You're like,
We got a restaurant for that.
you know what I'm saying? Literally, like, okay, yeah, we got an area. You know what I'm saying? Okay, boom. You know what I'm saying? We have everything. So with us having everything, and then literally you have all these different type of vibes and energies and cultures, to where like it's different sounds and beats and rhythms, to where for you to just stay in a box saying, oh, I'm a West Atlanta artist, like, what the fuck? You sound kind of stupid right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tap into a lot right
and
now.
not change the essence or core of who you are.
No, not at all.
I think that's a
But
common
just make
fear, you know?
just make more, like, you know what I'm saying, different types of music. You know what I'm saying? It's a cheat
Expound
code.
your palate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
God, you do got a college degree.
Okay,
Okay, he be throwing me off sometimes when he throw the word. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
You know, you do. You got to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go back to Rod Wave. This man be listening to like Ed Sheeran and stuff.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's pop minded. He
Yeah.
leaked his own, little snippet. He leaks his own snippet.
Yeah.
The joint is like a house record.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah.
We need that. We need to show you could be a rapper and rap on some shit that's not a trap beat
Mm-hmm.
and be maybe bigger than all the trap artists.
Yeah.
Look at Kodak and the Bruno Mars joint. You know what I mean? Like, Kodak and Co Wetzel. I don't know if you heard that joint, but it's like the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
West Orlando is country to me. Like, you can do a lot of country stuff.
Was he on it?
Diplo, you're right.
Yeah,
no, they're in a group together. Skrillex
Oh,
and Diplo were in a group together called Jack U. Pause.
So he was on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
When I heard, I'm like,
Yeah.
it was one of them. Let me hear this again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like there's any up and coming artists that they're like, if they just not say link with you type of situation, because you have your own stuff going on, you ain't nobody babysitter or anything like that, but you like, if they just ever just got to come around Luxury Lane or come around a vibe or a studio session or two, I could really help out in different ways.
We had a session, but I feel like it wasn't around the right environment.
Mhm.
Dreesy comes to mind. If she
Okay.
wants to, I don't know how much she's been
we was talking
dropping.
about it earlier.
Yeah.
bro.
I think she's got like so much star potential.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's crazy.
I don't.
man.
I'm talking
don't
literally
think we was-
today. Literally
Yeah,
today,
for
we were
real?
talking about
That's
that.
crazy, bro.
Like literally today, because it was like an old Throwback Thursday type of situation. And it was 20. Huh?
No, it's Throwback
Throwback
Thursday,
Tuesday?
but it's Tuesday.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
So I just found it in the
Take
vault.
it
I'm
back.
like,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was 2020, and she had her video shoot out in a Popka, and they had the dirt bikes and everything like that, to where she was selling a merchandise shirt. I wore my shirt, because I'm like, I'm going to Dreesy video shoot type of thing, and it was like, man, like Dreesy was just kept making music this whole time.
But I get how discouraging it could be, though.
It
So,
can't. But
I don't
honestly, the
blame,
truth,
you know.
of course, I don't know personal stuff,
Me
but it's just,
neither, me
I
neither.
always felt like she was always got the most type of shine for a female artist.
She had the look.
But
Yeah.
but she
She
got
had
the
the
bars too. Like if you take, I just feel like if you take the bars we got from the freestyles,
Mm-hmm.
get the right hook, get a beat that's a little innovative, not like what I.
You know what's crazy? People keep saying that like her freestyles go harder than the actual like.
Cause she
Records.
cause she really talked that
That's
shit,
what
and it
I'm
was
saying.
like, but she sitting on that damn curve, and she sitting like, oh my god, she look good. She saying some shit. You know
I
what
think,
I'm
I think
saying?
you put those bars over like a certain type of beat that people maybe aren't as, like I
It's
think.
sexy when she talking about riding motherfuckers' faces and shit. You like,
Stupid.
boy, goddamn, Dreesy, like,
I like her vocabulary.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Cause she used words in a sequence you not expecting. Like, you from Orlando?
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
They like,
and a pop
real-
at that.
You know that?
And I just respect bars and stuff. Like I'm never like good. You're good for a female. Like, I don't like that phrase.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think she's really good.
Yeah.
You know, for real. And yeah, that's
Is
definitely somebody that would be.
it's
would be
somebody,
cool.
one more you could think of?
I don't don't think he needs any help, but I really like Dave from the Grave.
Okay.
You know, I think he's doing his thing, but I like his style.
Dave.
You know,
We were just with him. We was in the same little situation over the weekend.
fire.
That's
Fire.
Dang,
Dang,
yeah.
man.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
That's what I'm saying. That's I was. They were saying like we was having a conversation about like how one of the things I like about Orlando so much is to where no matter what. Okay, people doing different things musically in different lanes, and they have their own name, they own everything like that going on. But it's nobody I feel that's too far gone to where like, okay, they're not
unapproachable.
Oh, unapproachable, or I can't get in contact with.
Yeah, at least through somebody, right?
Through somebody, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like Orlando is like we all going like a
that's
like a one, like it's a lot. It's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Cause you know, like in Atlanta or LA, they're like, I can't get in contact with this person no matter
Atlanta
what.
used to be like that. I think that's how they got to be Atlanta almost.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The new Atlanta.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, now I feel like Orlando is like literally we have so many different people who are doing amazing things, you know what I'm saying? That people might not even know. People might not even know what you've done.
I guarantee
you know
a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying?
people don't, you know.
And
They don't know now.
that's a fact. We're gonna make sure of that.
I
You know what I'm saying?
appreciate that, yo.
And with like relationships, like another push. You know what I'm saying? You have somebody like a Chris Turner who's the head A&R at Capitol Records. You know what I'm saying? You can have somebody like an AO doing a different kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like literally like, okay, on
Shout out
different,
AO.
you know what I'm saying? Facts, shout out to AO. So it's so many different people I feel like that are doing things, but it's like we moving together in different ways. Now somebody might be like, all right, I'm up here doing the shit, and I can see, you know, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But it's still moving.
Sometimes I just tell, when I'm in that position, sometimes I just tell people like when the time is right. You know what I mean? It's never a no. It's just like when the time is right. You know.
And I feel like
you know the funny thing is where people get it's a couple words where people get in their feelings about, but they shouldn't type of thing is when somebody, you know, basically I say timing is right, but then somebody like, but make it make sense type of thing. Like, how does that make sense? You like, God damn, what's wrong? Like,
bro, at some point I stopped.
legs together.
Yeah, at some point it's hard to.
Yeah, but that's a fact though,
nice.
because it's like that's back to where like really adds into like what you're saying of like the humble situation, where like, you know, like
boundaries. That's what
boundaries.
That's what it comes back to, actually.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta know your boundaries, like, bro, like, man.
I used to not have no boundaries, bro, like at all.
I had to change my name and all that shit. I mean, my number and everything.
I had to change my damn name.
Yeah, you know, I had to change my number and stuff. And then, like, when I just realized, like, cause the type of person I am, I like to see everybody win. I like to help people.
Exactly, and that can be taken advantage of. You know,
to the max. And then when you realize, you look back, you're like, I ain't really with that, cause y'all just looking at like this ain't that now. You know what I'm saying? I want to see people win, but it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta make room for yourself.
Facts.
A yes to you. I'm sorry. A no to someone is a yes to you. You know. So if you have trouble saying no, think about that. You know, because I used to still have trouble saying no. But then I remember if I say yes to somebody, I'm saying no to myself.
I like it.
Yeah, man.
I like it. So, with do you feel like you growing up, the way you grew up, from like even your background in church or being spiritual, do you think that is helping you, like today, with especially in this social media society, people's morals is so messed up? Do you feel like that's what's really making you shine in these rooms compared to others?
I think so. I think what it is like, I mean, I grew up Christian, and without insulting Christianity or Christians, I feel like I've gone past that a little bit and kind of still acknowledge, you know, Jesus, for instance. But I feel like I acknowledge a lot of other possibilities as well. And I just choose to look at religion as like an interface to a higher power instead of the only way to the higher power or the only higher power. So I'm more of an energy guy.
I feel you to the max, because it was like, especially when I was like, it was for so long, I would feel guilty. Just even, I'm talking to myself. I'm not even talking to nobody else, but just even questioning certain things where you feel like, okay, well, all right, well, that kind of.
But how? You know what I mean?
Saying? Like,
exactly.
One of the things where I was like, okay, whatever, get into it a little bit, but as it to like, all right, well, let's say somebody's Asian, right? And they were raised how they were raised with Buddha or something. Exactly, right? and this was somebody, this generation, grandma, mom, uncle, auntie, everybody's telling you this certain situation, right? So the same thing as into Christianity. Somebody can sit there and be like, somebody can't come up to me and say, "Oh look, Jesus ain't." I don't even want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, get away, kind of situation. So then one of the things where we like, all right, so. Man, I don't know.
No, I know what you're saying. Like,
but
the conviction is like...
The conviction is crazy to me. Like,
so I want to hear that with it.
Conviction.
Yeah.
Like your conviction to where you're like... well, what I mean is, like, you're like, yo, I feel guilty for... No, that's not what I mean. Like, basically, like, all right, to piggyback off what you're saying, Christians kind of have the audacity, not all, but some, to like be like, I gotta be a missionary.
I like the choice of words.
Thank you, bro. Like, to be like, I gotta be a missionary and go over here and change this person's existential beliefs.
Yeah.
Because what I believe is right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's audacious, bro. That's bold. And I know you gotta be bold for what you believe in, but Christianity also killed a lot of people in the name of crusades. People forget that. Like, talk about like Islamic terrorism. What about Christian terrorism at one point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know we're going off topic.
No, but no, this is high standard.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, I just believe you could believe what you want, and it shouldn't interfere with someone else's thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, I'm not against anything really. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things I think like cults and stuff that like are self-harm. I'm not, all that. I can't say anything, but if you're doing your thing and you're not radical in a harmful way, you should be allowed to practice what you want to practice. I think, and it's called a practice. It's not. Perfect.
I'm just trying to better myself in some kind of way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I don't you don't know what I went through, so I'm just trying to pray to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like pray to, you need to pray to somebody. Talk to somebody.
It's true.
Believe whatever you want to believe.
To tie it back into it, I feel like how it helps me was somewhere along the way, basically like my music teacher, Mr. Smith, shout out Mr. Smith, life-changing guy, still talk to this day. He introduced me to the idea of meditating. And that I recommend no matter what your religion is. I don't think it interferes with your religion. A lot of Christians will be like, you shouldn't, no, pray, you should pray. I think prayer is communication with a higher power. I think meditation is more so just stillness. Exactly. So it's two different things, that's all. But like that 10 minutes before every day changes my day. You know what I mean? Like, because now I'm zooming out. I'm looking at life from back here, not from here. And a lot of people aren't privy to that information. I feel like whatever their algorithm is, whatever their For You page is, if you're not already kind of spiritual, you're not seeing that stuff. Yeah. Or you might be like, oh, what's your moon sign? And people get all turned off by that stuff. But I think there's like a pocket of spirituality that everybody could tap into. Actually, you can take away spirituality from it. It's just energy. It's just clearing your mind, listening to what's around you for a second. I'm telling you, compounding, it changes your life. And I feel like it gives me a chance to not act quick and judge all the time and take stuff personal. Like, in the studio, it's so easy to take things personally, man. Yeah. I don't like that beat or whatever. But if you're like, oh, they're just looking for something else, then you just move on instead of taking, you know what I mean? So, sorry about that. But yeah, it helps me a lot, bro. It helps me a lot to just be mindful, you know? Yeah, that's my religion, mindfulness.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Mindfulness.
Yeah.
That's what, like, because especially before I was like, cause I can say it was different types of me, versions of me.
Oh my
God.
thing.
So where like when I got older, like I seen different things, but when I before like I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do in life or the direction type of situation. But I was always like a, God fearing, spiritual person, always like prayed, everything like that. So when I was like about like 22 type of situation, I started praying for wisdom more than like actual things. I was just praying for wisdom. And when I start praying for wisdom, things start just popping up and happening, and I'm seeing things before, you know what I'm saying? So then like, okay, this is good because pray for $1 million at 22. You ain't gonna have that. Exactly. You ain't gonna understand it.
It's almost like the teach a man to fish thing.
Yeah.
Rather than give a man fish. Like,
you
teach a man how to fish, then you him his fish. It's kind of like that. That wisdom is the knowledge and power to make anything in your life appear. Hard work and manifestation. Whatever religion you believe, they're all pointing back to that. the Bible talks about manifesting too, because it says faith without works is
It's
dead.
dead.
So you got to believe and you got to work on it.
That's
you
a
know?
big fact.
They say be transformed by the renewal of your mind. That means it starts here, you know.
Yeah.
So the Bible talks about it. People
Yeah.
just think it's a different thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. It's
People
crazy.
try to they like to pick and choose.
Personalize it, bias
Yeah.
it, you know. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Yeah, man.
So so also too, you know, let's get back to music real quick. So what's the name of the record that you just dropped?
It's called Jiggle.
Jiggle.
Yeah. It's just about dancing, having a good time.
Mhm.
You know how they say dance like nobody's watching?
Okay, yeah.
This is like dance like everybody's cheering you on energy. A little different. Little
Jiggle.
Yeah. I mean, you know, everybody jiggles a little bit one way or another
Facts.
when they dance. I think a lot of people feel self-conscious about it. So it's just kind of like an encouragement. It's not necessarily just about ass.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like move freely, you know?
Yeah.
I find myself being self-conscious about dancing. You know, I got rhythm music, but not necessarily my body. So I wanted to make something that you could two-step to and look kind of fly doing it, you know?
That part. Okay,
Yeah.
so we got Jiggle out on all platforms.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
You can listen to it for free on YouTube if you don't have any platforms.
Mhm.
You know, I want to make my shit available. You
Yeah.
know, but every platform you could think of is on. Yeah.
And then the project's on the way.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I haven't even thought about it. I'm kind of in that mode where I'm just gonna drop singles, and then when I feel like I, you know,
Cause you got your social media page going crazy.
thank you, bro.
That content is really
I
dope.
appreciate it, bro.
That's some great content.
Dude, I want to talk about content, bro. I like had such a bad relationship with it because when I started TikTok, I was going viral a lot, and then that just natural, what do they call it? Organic reach died down.
Okay.
And then every time I made content, I would like expect it to go viral, and it didn't. And it made my mental health towards it almost real messed up. Serotonin seeking vibe.
Yeah.
So I changed my whole mantra this time to just like, if it helps one person, if it helps my song one more time, that's all it has to be. You know?
That's dope.
So
That's a great
I've
way to look
changed
at
my
it too.
process, and I think a lot of artists can relate to this. That content becomes a chore, and I feel like if you fall in love with the process, not the result, the chore aspect goes away. You know, for real. I'm a witness to that.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I actually like editing videos now, and I never thought I would.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. What made you did you get on your content like more after the Rod Wave situation, or you like already on it?
I really wasn't. I was at one point, but I just fell off. And then I was like, yo, I'm just going to capture all these moments, and then I'm going to like come back out and show everybody these moments. You know, so I posted some pictures from photographers on tour, and some videos, the solos and stuff like that. But when I got back, I got kind of depressed just from like everything being so high level. And then I'm like back home, and like it was just nothing going on. And,
You still doing this right? I can't be right now.
Literally used to wake up in a different city every day.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy drop. So, you know, I had to like bounce back out, reassess my life. I don't know if you've ever been away from home for a couple months, no matter what it is. When you come back, you're like, this was my life? That I was like, you look at it from here instead of from in it, you know? So, like, I had to reassess a lot of shit. And after I did that, I was like, yo, I really got to be an artist. I really got to do this shit. And if I'm going to do this shit, content is the way. Like, I feel like if Kendrick Lamar came out today instead of when he did, he would be making content. You know what I mean? Anybody who's above making content because of their stature would probably have to make content in this environment.
Even Will Smith make content.
He's cold with the content. His whole team.
Crazy. Yeah. That's big.
I need that team, bro.
Well, it's happening. You're already on the path. You know what I'm saying? Luxury lane.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So.
For real. No, of course. It's just the media aspect of it, you know. But honestly, I don't even know if I need that because, you know, most likely he's not editing his own videos. I'm getting a lot of joy from doing that right now. Yeah. So I'm actually glad I don't have his media team, you know, because it's fire, and I can pass that information on to the next person too, you know.
All right. So So before we get up out of here, say your Instagram and platforms where everybody can find you at, your music at, and any shout outs.
Got you. Yeah. My pretty much all my social medias are Bliz, GBLIZ, on Instagram, TikTok. I think it's GBliz90 on YouTube because I just had it for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And then on Spotify, type in G space Bliz, not G period Bliz, and you'll be able to find, you know, my instrumentals and my new song Jiggle. Man, shout out Luxury Lane. Shout out Steph Randell, my engineer. Shout out Tally, my girlfriend. She's just the most incredible support system, man. And her music, she's got a crazy one coming out soon too.
Okay.
2 crazy ones actually.
Okay.
So I'm missing a lot of people, but I think I mentioned people throughout the show.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Shout out Jay Yoko for putting this thing together, man.
Go.
And shout out Orlando for real for just embracing me. I feel really welcome here.
Yeah. As into like where I got put on you towards later. But I'm a fan now. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure I'm.
That means a lot, bro.
No, for sure.
Thank
like
you.
definitely, because like I say, I'm an energy person. So I go out vibe.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? Music is music. You know what I'm saying? Social media is social media. But when you meet somebody, like, bro, I rock what you got going on.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Same,
for
bro.
sure.
This is amazing what you guys have going on, man. And I feel like it's just like a place to broadcast to where the city's really actually tuned in. You know what I mean? That's why I wanted to jump on it. So yeah, appreciate y'all, man.
All love. And that's another episode of High Standards. Your boy R4 Chapman.
JK the interviewer.
And we out.
Yes, sir.
I ain't like, bro, you raw. Bro, you raw. Like, no, for real, bro, you raw.
That
Like,
shit was fire.